I sold all my XCN. Here's the coin that I'm buying instead. This is NC Hammer Crypto. My name's Neil. Keeping technical analysis short and sweet as always. Starting with Bitcoin, we see that it had this massive dump. It's not really that massive, but it is going according to plan, as we do see on these orange bars from previous history. We had that pullback and we are wicking off a bit, meaning we get a little bit more support. We can start potentially drawing an upward trend line if this holds, and we most likely will see a pullback and then a takeoff for Bitcoin. With that being said, moving right into XCN. And as for XCN, I am not selling any of it. That would be stupid. But I will show you another coin that you can buy. XCN, like we've been talking about, high liquidity volume down within this area around 0.00846 to 0.01. There's a bunch of buyers in this area. We also have this green upward trend line, which is showing the support. This essentially, with this red downward trend line, is the triangle we are working within. This black trend line right here is showing just the support from the previous weeks. So this line is irrelevant because that did not hold. However, it still is in the daily, so we can see this wick off and have a pullback depending on what Bitcoin is going to be doing. But I don't believe Bitcoin is going to be dropping any further. I could be wrong, as a liquidity sweep would be taking out a bunch of sells below this black trend line and collecting a bunch of buys down within this area, immediately pushing price back up into this trend line area. And essentially the wedge is within the green and red. We're getting a lot of pressure building up. The 200 EMA isn't very strong to be pushing this down heavily. We are getting more support in between here. Imagine water funneling into a tube, and eventually when it gets down to this area, it either has to break out to the top or to the bottom, which is where we will be keeping an eye on it. And as of right now, we are just mainly looking for it to hold support on this black upward trend line, depending on what Bitcoin is going to be doing within these next couple of days. I believe this is just a healthy pullback to keep that 200 EMA nice and close, but it'll eventually start that pull up and everything will start getting very, very crazy. A lot of people are going to be selling off on XCN as soon as they're in profit at 2x, maybe 3x. Keeping in mind 0.033 is the 618 from the previous high. So at least a retrace to here is what we would expect. 0.04 when we touch, or 0.0 almost 5, when we touch this area, we might have a pullback as well, testing potentially 0.04 or even lower to 0.03, which would be a healthy pullback to keep that 200 EMA close and then shoot XCN up towards 10 cents, which we may have another sell-off, and then the ultimate goal, 18 cents, and beyond 18 cents is the sky is the limit for XCN. So if you're selling off here, nobody's blaming you. It's been a brutal couple months for people who have been trapped in this. They saw the major pump and did not have the opportunity to really play the moves. Right now it's in consolidation. In order to have those major pushes to the upside or downside, you need to have that long consolidation period. The longer the consolidation, the higher it'll go. It's just liquidity being built up, and XCN is prepared for it. We are just waiting to see what Bitcoin is going to be doing, and I believe this is going to be crossing over this 200 EMA. This is on the daily. When we zoom into the 4-hour, we tested that 200 EMA, got rejected, tested once more. We had to pull back. I believe we are going to start seeing this pull back up over that 200 EMA, and we can start testing this downward red trend line. I could be wrong. We could have that liquidity sweep down in here, but ultimately we are going to be heading towards this area, and this is the more important line that we need to break in order to start seeing some more upside. Ideally, we've seen in the past getting above that 200 EMA and holding has that major potential to push upwards. and we are attempting that yet again. And that's kind of it for XCN. The other coin I always recommend. It is also having a pullback. There is no market that is not when Bitcoin does its thing. But I've always talked about Tornado Cash, and a really cool update. Bunny Cities is, I guess, an exchange that got hacked for $3 million, I believe. This has nothing to do with Tornado Cash, but down here we see the Bunny team said it was traced stolen funds to 2 wallets, but could not identify the attacker, and they used Tornado Cash. So Tornado Cash took that money that he took, he washed it within Tornado Cash. Tornado Cash gets a little portion for washing the money, and it becomes anonymous. So there is a useful case for Tornado Cash, whether it be good or bad. It's got a good use case scenario. We are getting a wick off here. We are not testing underneath the CM Guppy, 200 EMA, extremely healthy, creeping up underneath. This thing is prepared to start that push up to $27 and beyond, all-time high of $459. And if this is your first time hearing about Tornado Cash and you're new to the channel, you can trade it on MEXC. There's a reference link in the description below. And if you use that reference link, you get 10 USDT free. So you can almost get 1 free Tornado Cash for using that reference link. And the all-time high is $459, so I don't see it as a $10 Tornado or $13 Tornado Cash. I see it as at least $250 to back to its all-time high, $460 per coin. Definitely great opportunity for Tornado Cash. And that's it for this video. I'm going to do one on a lot of the others. Like and subscribe if you haven't. Good luck. Have fun with it. I will see you guys on the next one.